Okay, so I'm going to be talking about how mental health should be considered a sick day. Ignoring mental health is like driving a car with no oil. Eventually, the engine will break down. By the end of my speech, I will be able to persuade my audience on why mental health days should be treated the same as sick days. Mental health illness can affect our work, ourselves, our family, and our academics. Mental health is just as important as physical health. Ignoring it not only harms the person experiencing it, but those around them. Therefore, recognizing mental health days the same as sick days is essential for everybody. Because we all know someone that is struggling with mental health, whether it's your friends, your family, you, or a family member. Millions of people go to work while silently struggling with mental health issues, but unlike a cold or a flu, they are rarely given permission to miss work in order to recover. That's not just harmful to them, but to everyone around them. Mental health can cause conditions like depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, which is known as PTSD, which can also affect your physical health. I'll begin by explaining how mental health can affect your workplace. Imagine struggling with mental health and not being able to miss work, forcing you to go to work, not being focused, and working in a dangerous environment where one mistake can seriously hurt or even kill someone. So imagine people that drive semi-trucks, how they have to go to work even if they're struggling for mental health, and knowing that they're behind the wheel and they can possibly get in a car accident and kill another family. How do you think they would feel if they were to do that? The global economic burden of mental health illness was estimated to be $2.5 trillion in 2010. It is believed that by the end of 2030, it will increase to $6.1 trillion. Staying focused or even motivated at work can be difficult when struggling with stress, anxiety, or depression. Just like any physical illness, if left untreated, it can worsen over time, leading to a more serious chronic condition. By companies allowing mental health days to count the same as sick days, employees can recover and get the help needed, allowing them to return to work more productive and more focused. When companies don't allow you to take mental health sick days, workplaces suffer a loss of productivity because people are still going to be calling off for mental health. So it's better if you give them the permission to. And since they don't have support from their workplace, their conditions such as depression worsen over time. Imagine how it affects the people that they have to go home to, whether it's their parents or they have kids or wife, and going home to them because they are struggling with depression. Mental health that is left untreated can result in serious mental health problems such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, PTSD, and even worse, self-harm and even suicide. Imagine working with someone suffering from PTSD or schizophrenia. They could either hurt you physically or by words that they say. It is estimated that 12 billion work days are lost every year due to mental health conditions. 1 in every 5 adults suffers from mental health issues. This is because places overwork their employees. Many of them are worried about getting fired. Instead of prioritizing their mental health, they are worried that they will no longer have a job. And when someone doesn't have a job, they won't be able to provide for their family. So just imagine the burden that they must feel knowing that. Beyond its impact in workplaces, mental health plays a serious role in how it affects your family and yourself. Mental health can start off small and eventually end up causing illnesses like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, PTSD, psychosis, and many more conditions. These illnesses can cause you to become detached from your friends and family. Getting detached from your family will cause you to feel angry, sad, suicidal, and even the feeling of being alone. This will cause you to change your eating habits. You might starve yourself, or you might overeat to the point where it becomes unhealthy for you. If you get a chronic condition like schizophrenia or PTSD, there is no known cure, which is why many people begin to isolate themselves from their loved ones. And imagine how it is as a family member to be with someone that is suffering from PTSD or schizophrenia. It can be scary at times because you can't leave them alone, and the only real help that they can get is by medicine. Nobody wants somebody that they love to be taking medicine, mostly if you don't know the side effects of that. This can also lead to physical illnesses such as heart disease, diabetes, seizures, strokes, and obesity. This is due to chronic stress and anxiety. This is why we should be able to support people that are struggling with mental health issues. This can cause you to become addicted to drugs because you will be looking for something to take the pain away. How many people do we know that are struggling with something and choose an easy way like doing drugs because they don't want to suffer that pain anymore? While mental health affects you, your family, and your workplace, it also affects your academic performance. More than 1 in 7 U.S. youths aged 6 through 17 experience mental health disorders each year. The fact that this can happen to someone who is 6 years old is scary. Imagine that as your kids or your brother's kid, your grandchild, or anything. This is why mental health days should be considered the same as sick days. In school years, it is said that 1 out of 6 people miss 12 days. From grades 1 through 6 miss 12 days. From grades 7 to 10, students miss 23 days. And from 11 to 12, students miss 25 days. So allowing students to take mental health days can help them recover from mental health issues. This will allow them to have a better future because if they are able to treat it young, then they won't have to worry about a long-term effect. We have to treat mental health as soon as possible so that when kids grow up, they don't have to suffer from mental health illnesses. This is why it is important to enforce it when kids are young. We have to become more united when it comes to mental health because this can happen to your kids or your family. How would you feel if your kid of 6 years old is suffering from mental health and he can't miss school because they don't give him permission to? The best thing that we can do for someone that is struggling with mental health is support them. Because like I was saying earlier, it can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter how old you are. It can happen to you at the age of 14 years old, which is scary to think about. It is said that 50% of kids that are 14 years old suffer from a mental illness like this. It is sad to think that this can happen to one of your loved ones. So we all have to try to become united and support mental health sick days the same as sick days because people that get time off correctly are able to recover. So like I was saying earlier, this can affect your family, your friends, your workplace, your academics, and anything else. And not only does it affect you, but it affects everyone you love because they have to go through it with you too. The end.